Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello, how are you doing? It is Tuesday and I'm here. Uh, you know why I'm here. You know why I'm here. Because it's a very important day. It is very important. The Supreme Court is hearing the electoral bonds case. And for those of you who have been following my work for all these years, probably know how obsessed I am with this issue. I'm genuinely very obsessed, and there is a reason for that. I will tell you as we go along. But I've been following this since the beginning, which is 2016, 2017, that period. And lot has happened, and finally we are here in a place where the hearing is happening in Supreme Court. So I thought, if not on my channel, where else will you get extensive coverage of the electoral bonds and political funding issue? So here we are. Yes, we are here. Already loads of people are here. अंकुर ने पहले ही कमेंट छोड़ दिया. आई थिंक ही सेड, भाई आजकल आपका चैनल कुछ ज़्यादा प्रमोट हो रहा है. पहले ध्रुव राठी, सोच बाय मोहक मंगल सार्थक गोस्वामी, जो देशभक्त के साथ था, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. वाई ओनली लेफ्ट? आई डोंट नो अंकुर. I mean, isn't it a good thing my channel is being promoted more by the YouTube algorithm? I don't know why that's a problem. And I guess you watch a lot of people who are in my vicinity, or the algorithm things are like me. So that's why you're getting me all the time, which is great. Watch. Pratik, hello Pratik, hi. Eagerly waiting, I'm here. Junaid, hello. Shrishti, made it made it on time for the first time. Hello, welcome Shrishti. Well done. Siddharth is here. Harshit, Mannavan, hello, hi guys, hi. अरे शबनम भी पहली बार वक्त पे आई है. Like she's also first time, came on time. Hello Shabnam, hi. What happened until now? Kuch, like, I mean, I just started, Manavan. Nothing happened until now. Like, share, subscribe. Yes, like, share, subscribe. Please listen to Shrishti. Also, can you explain the government's argument that if the law does infringe other laws, the Supreme Court can't repeal it? Oh, okay. Wait, does that... Oh, the government's argument in court right now? I will get there eventually. Again, guys, super complicated issue, and as you know, my streams are all about not overwhelming people and also giving it to people slowly and steadily, right? So the Supreme Court hearing is going on. The first day of arguments was done. Tomorrow is another day. So this electoral bond story is going to be revealed to you on my channel also, very, very nicely, slowly, over time. Okay? Because there's a lot to talk about. So, yeah. But Pratik, we will get there. Arjun, hello, hi. Pallavi, why am I getting BJP ad on your channel? You're getting a BJP ad on my channel? So, oh, that's nice though. So BJP thinks that, I think YouTube algorithm thinks that my channel is worth promoting for the BJP. कोई नहीं यार, दे दो यार. Yeah, electoral bonds money also is maybe somehow in a very weird, convoluted way coming to me also. Oh, so fun. How the turntables have turned. सब ज्ञान दे रहे हैं, आज मैंने इग्नोर किया है. अर्जुन इज सेइंग, ओके, किस पे ज्ञान दे रहे हैं? ऋषि इज हियर. Do other parties always support current government stand on electoral bonds? So, Anonymous, it is therefore a very complicated issue because a lot of other parties are taking electoral bonds, right? 31 parties have taken electoral bonds in the last 5 years. So, therefore, it is tricky. I'll get there again. Like, it is a very layered issue. Congress is opposing it, but also taking electoral bonds. TMC is also taking electoral bonds. BJD, all these parties are taking electoral bonds. So they can't really oppose it maybe, or they are. So it's, again, layered, I'll tell you. Hi Manu. मैं तो ध्रुव के बाद आया था, फिर आपका फैन बन गया. अरे सर, मोहित, थैंक यू सो मच. Hello, hello. Felt bound to come to the stream on electoral bonds. Neranjit, hello. Lots of members today. Hello to all members. Guys, please do consider becoming members of my channel. It really supports me. Please do that and please do support in any way possible. Hi, love your work. Please do talk about if the Solicitor General was threatening the Supreme Court by saying do not interfere. Again, Ankit, I know like there was another question earlier. I will get there. We will get there. The thing is, I also want to hear the government side of arguments before I say anything on it per se. So today, the Prashant Bhushan, Kapil Sibbal argued against the government. So I think tomorrow is when we will hear the government arguments, or maybe day after. So I want to reserve all of those things for when those arguments happen. So I will get there though. My plan is this week I will come online as much as I can because the hearing is going on. I was watching it all day, so I will give you like a gist of what all has happened today as well. So we'll take it slowly, and meanwhile I'll also tell you about the electoral bond story in general. Are the SC hearings live streamed or recorded anywhere? Kumar, yes, they are live streamed on the Supreme Court YouTube channel, and also Live Law and Mojo Story and a bunch of other channels. I think Indian Express also like does like a live stream of the Supreme Court hearings. So if you go on YouTube and you search for Supreme Court hearing, you will just get like a bunch of live streams. You can watch it there. I think Live Law, if you look at it right now, then their entire stream for this particular day is there. I think it's like 5.5 hours, 6 hours long. Just joined your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you so much. BJP ad, that means you're doing really good. I think so too, Ranjan. I think so too. Did you see Aadhaar card leak news? 715 million plus records up for sale on the dark web. Utkarsh, I'm not surprised at all. Was kind of expecting this to happen at some point. The whole Aadhaar thing is very bizarre. Again, one of my favorite issues, which I have been tracking for a while. But electoral bonds is today's thing. And but I will talk to you about it later if we get some time, because Aadhaar thing is also very interesting. भाई पहले ये बताना, लेट अरुण जेटली का क्या आर्ग्यूमेंट था व्हेन प्रेजेंटिंग द बिल इन पार्लियामेंट? Yes, Sarpan. I will do that today. I have it open right now. I will do that today. Can you set context for us? Yes, Shrishti. Okay, guys. So here's what we are going to do. How do I do a poll? Oh yeah, let me do a poll. So this stream will have two parts, right? One is the origin story of electoral bonds. I'm going to take you through this wonderful journey from 2010 onwards, 2014, and a bunch of other things that happened in the middle, and three finance bills, and then now, so there's a lot to cover there. So that is the origin story. And the second part is what happened today specifically, because the arguments that were given in court were very fascinating. So I want to hear you and tell me, what do you want to do first? Do you want origin story first? It will set the context a little bit. Or do you want to hear about the arguments first? Wait, I'm going to start a poll. What first? Origin or Supreme Court today? Let's see. Yeah. So, we'll see. I hope to hear your thoughts, insight on Telangana politics and upcoming elections. Bharadwaj, yes, I will do that. Again, the elections are also coming up. I will try to cover those also. Lots to do, but I feel like electoral bonds right now is by far, according to me, the most important thing that kind of affects the elections also, right? Not just these 5 state elections, but general elections. And if the Supreme Court allows this to exist, then future elections as well. So I want to like pay more attention to electoral bonds. And another reason why I want to do this is because I don't think any other news channel or any channel for that matter will do that much of detailed coverage of this issue at all. So I just want to give it justice and also pay more attention to it, or at least I want you guys to pay more attention to it. So that's why I'll cover this for this week at least till the hearing is on, and then after that we will come back to politics, and we will come back to news channels and sorry, elections and everything. Okay, so origin is very close, it's winning very close. Supreme Court today is also a little bit less. Can you explain how parties were funded before electoral bonds? Okay, Adrian. Yes. So I am going to. It's a fight still. It's a fight still, but 51%. So it's a half and half. I'll just go with origin. Okay, fine. Oh, now it's flipped. Supreme Court ho gaya. CPM lawyer gave a data on donations before electoral bonds and after would be fun if we can have it here. I also saw that, Rishi. I have been trying to get some documents for a bunch of people, friends and people, journalists. So one tranche is on the way today. So I will also like tell you about that tomorrow once I have gone through them. So there is this wonderful gentleman called Commodore Batra who has been filing a bunch of RTIs for years now about electoral bonds, like incessantly, and he has managed to get a lot of information out. So I'm just waiting for a tranche of those documents to come, and I have some very interesting things to tell you there as well. We read the things you wrote on your Twitter timeline. बहुत अच्छा काम करता है. तो मेघनाथ भाई, अपन को तुमको थैंक यू बोलने का है. थैंक यू शबनम, थैंक यू सो मच. Glad you find it useful. Okay, I think origin is still close, so we are going to go with origin. I think that is, oh yeah, origin. Origin is what we are starting with. Very close, 2% point, but I'm going to start with origin then. What do you think would Supreme Court will order to release data of bonds, Rana? That is a very important question. I really hope so. I hope so. That will keher mach jayega, as they call it in Hindi. You know, it will set the world on fire if that happens. If the Supreme Court is like, 5 years, you took all this money, now reveal. State Bank of India, reveal. And then shit will go down. I would love to see that, but who knows? It'll also cause a massive disruption. First, pose the ballot system argument for today, okay? CPM lawyer gave it a. Okay. Okay, so let us begin with the origin story. Right. So first things first, I have done a short video on what are electoral bonds. If you want, you can go and watch that. But in short, I'll tell you right now what it is. Electoral bonds are essentially a special form of currency that can be used by political parties only. What happens is, if you are someone who wants to donate to a political party, you will go to the State Bank of India, select branches of State Bank of India, you will buy this bond which will not have your name on it. It will have an amount on it and a secret serial number, which we will come to later. I will show you the fun things about how that secret number was also found. Then that piece of paper you can take, and then you can go to your favorite political party that you want to donate to. You give that paper to them, right? And then they go to the SBI and they redeem that. So essentially, there is a transfer happening anyway of funds, but the SBI acts as a middleman. And since this bond doesn't have anybody's name on it, neither the party nor the person, it is like a currency. So it's essentially that, right? It's basically a way to hide who is donating to which party. In a very basic way, that is what an electoral bond is. So, yeah. So, how did this whole thing come about is what I want to deal with today. How did this electoral bonds thing happen? But I will also tell you a little bit of fun story about political funding and what has happened in the past. Okay. So, starting with this one. Yeah. This is a news item from March 29th, 2014. This was 10 days before the general elections, where Adarniya Shri Sir Supreme Leader Narendra Modi won. 10 days before that, the headline reads Delhi High Court finds BJP Congress guilty of receiving foreign funds. This was supposed to be like an earthquake. Okay, 10 days before the elections, the the Delhi High Court found both BJP and Congress of accepting foreign funds. Now, how did that happen? So, according to this report, what happened was that there is this company called Vedanta, which is registered in the UK. It has a subsidiary, two subsidiaries called Sterlite, and one more. Where is it? कहाँ गया? Somewhere. The second one is Cians or something. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it has two subsidiaries called Sterlite and Sesa, which are, which are subsidiaries in India. Now, what happened is that they gave donations to both Congress and BJP through a trust, through an electoral trust. Now, someone asked how were parties funded before electoral bonds, right? So there were a few ways to fund political parties. One is, of course, cash. So if you are someone who wants to donate to a political party, you can give 19,999 rupees to them, and you don't have to declare it, and neither does the party who gave it to them, right? So if it's above 20,000, anything like cash, bank, whatever it is, the party has to declare the name of the donor. That was the rule. And the other method of also doing donations was something called electoral trusts. What it was like a semi-opaque system, semi-opaque I call it, because like in this case, Vedanta's case, for example, what happened is Vedanta created one electoral trust, and I think one more company was involved in that electoral trust. They would give money to this electoral trust, and then the electoral trust would donate to different political parties. In this case, both BJP and Congress they gave money to. So electoral trust, you could still track who gave the money in the electoral trust and where did it go, if you really want to do it. So it was not really opaque. They had created a middleman, but it was not hidden, right? You can dig and still find it. So they did that in between 2008 and 2010 is when they did this whole donation thing. Then the Association of Democratic Reforms saw this, and they filed a case against both BJP and Congress and accused them, or asked the court to examine this whole thing. And the Delhi High Court actually found them guilty. They said appropriate action needs to be taken against both BJP and Congress for taking foreign funds. Yeah, as you can see from the headline. As you can see from the headline. That is part one of the origin story. Like the stream, guys. Yes, please. Arjun bol raha hai. Like the stream. Please like the stream. Congress is also secretly happy with electoral bonds. Again, layered. I will tell you why once I get over with the origin story, because Congress is also taking electoral bonds but also opposing it. So how does that work? बहुत सारे cases है like Manish Sisodia. Yes, Arjun, I saw that his bail was rejected. Lately, when you start videos which are critical of BJ party, you get an ad of Supreme Leader. Experience the same while watching Ravi sir's video also. Oh, okay. So BJP is obviously like now spending money on advertising for the elections, I'm guessing. So they must be giving money to YouTube and putting an ad. So YouTube is deciding where the ad goes, not really BJP. What is your opinion on today's phone warning? Oh, I saw that. I will, if I have time in the end, I will talk a little bit about that as well. Secret serial number on electoral bond sounds so similar to the currency note number for Hawala transaction. Bharadwaj, actually, that is very true. And it is very similar. I'll tell you how. Oh, hey, Pramod, 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Pramod. Guys, please thank Pramod if you're taking the memberships right now. Yes, you are. Sagar, Udayan, Mannavan, Alfred, Jehava, Shovik, Jing, Shikhar, Rosh, Sinister Vlogs, okay? And Anushka. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you want, you can join the Discord server now. It is in the community tab. You go to my channel, community tab, you will find a link there. Come, Discord channel. Sesa Goa, the mining company. Yes, Shweta, Sesa Goa, the mining company. She's right. So I think Sterlite was primarily active in Odisha, if I'm not wrong, and Sesa was active in Goa. BJP must have the highest number of donations received in bitcoins as well. Nobody will ever know about. I don't know, honestly. That's actually very interesting. Did you know individuals are not allowed to form an electoral trust? It's possible for USA citizens to set up a trust and collect funds from individuals, but not in India. Oh, interesting. At this point, BJP has so many members, technically through its membership drive, they can say they took a single rupee from each and be like, do a membership charge thing. That's true, Ronak. And I mean, they don't even need to do that anymore. They can just say that, oh, so we collected all this money and then electoral bonds and we got it. I mean, they can do whatever. It's just completely anonymous. Even if it's cash, anonymous, electoral bonds also anonymous. There was a very good argument made today on this as well. I will tell you that. Opposition has to accept electoral bonds eventually because they need money after all. Pallavi, yes, that is one of the points that is very correct. Again, we'll come to that. Okay, next part of our saga. Just a second. Okay, so after that whole drama happened between BJP and Congress being found guilty by the Delhi High Court, in 2016, in the finance bill, which was passed in Parliament, there was a small amendment made to the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Foreign Contribution Regulation Act is the one that they were found guilty under. What they did was that they made a tiny bit of change about how foreign entities are defined. What they said is in that amendment in 2016 that any company which has at least 51% share of an Indian any company which has a 51% Indian share of equity will not be considered foreign company anymore. 49% and below, if you have foreign equity, that's fine. So 51% still Indian. Okay, so that's the amendment they made. And the reasoning that they had given was that, oh, it is becoming super difficult for companies to contribute for corporate social responsibility. They're like, oh, there are so many companies which have this arrangement where there is a small foreign, component in their equity and they want to give CSR for people. So this FCRA will come and then they will not be allowed to give corporate social responsibility and, donate to like good things happening in the country. So we are amending the bill amending the act to make the companies not foreign entities anymore, like a little bit of twist, right? But the thing is, you know what they did? They made they made this amendment in 2016, but they did it retrospectively. What that means is that they said that this amendment will actually be active from 2010 onwards. 2016, they went back in time and then made the amendments from 2010 onwards. What that means is that that case I was talking about earlier, that just vanished because the subsidiaries actually met those criteria according to this new law, which used a legal time machine, and they went back in time, changed the law, and they were like, not guilty, guys. And then the Congress and the BJP went to the Supreme Court and argued together, and they were like, yes, we are all clear, not violating the FCRA anymore according to the current law, which is also the past law which we just changed. So that happened in 2016. Now, what I wanted to show you is this part. थोड़ा सा weird हो गया. Yes. Okay. Minister of State Home, Kiren Rijiju told The Hindu that the amendment which was cleared by the Lok Sabha in the recently concluded budget session will ensure that donations made by such foreign shareholding companies to entities including political parties will not attract provisions of the FCRA 2010. Yeah. So basically, Kiren Rijiju also admitted that now foreign firms can fund political parties. Yeah. This was the second part of our origin. I'll quickly go through the third one also, because next year is when shit went down. So this is an article I did. I'm showing it to you right now in News Laundry. It is called You've Been Punked. This was when I was working in Parliament. I did this article. So after the whole 2016 thing happened, where they made the FCRA amendment, I got really obsessed with the finance bill in general. I was like, oh, इस साल क्या कर रहे हैं? इस साल क्या कर रहे हैं? What are they doing in this year finance bill में? And as expected, in 2017, shit went down and they brought in some major things into the bill, right? One is, they gave extra powers to income tax officials. Yeah, they could enter and search any person's property without giving any real reason. Basically, that was the amendment. The second thing they did was the bill enables anybody to donate to political parties anonymously using a new instrument called electoral bonds. This 2017 is where electoral bonds comes in. But they did another fun thing. They said, so the third thing that they did actually was, earlier there was a cap on how much donations a company can give to a political party. That cap was removed. Yeah. So this bill which they brought in, yeah, they had passed this very, very quickly, right? So essentially what happened is on budget day is when this was passed. And also, I believe this was the time when Yogi Adityanath had won, I think. Was that? Yes, 2017. So Yogi Adityanath had won the election. Matlab, he became the chief minister, and on that very day he had come into parliament, and there was like this whole standing ovation that he got, and yay, everybody was like, yay, Yogi ji, you're amazing. And that is when this bill was brought in, and in the last moment, they brought in 30 plus amendments to the finance bill, like literally 10 minutes before it was considered, and it was not circulated to MPs. I think a part of it was circulated, a part of it wasn't, and it was just mashed through Parliament, which was the most scary thing I have ever seen. And electoral bonds was one of the things that were passed like this. There were some super chat. Just a second. Hello Krish, thank you so much for the super chat. Welcome to the stream. Ronak, hello, welcome. You're a super support member now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. भाई प्रमोद, आई बॉट मेंबरशिप लास्ट टाइम व्हाइल आई वाज ड्रंक, मुझे क्यों नहीं फ्री में दे रहे हो? ओके, धर्म तेजा। Doesn't the 1% vote share clause also fossilize the system and prevent new parties realistically competing? 1% vote share clause? Oh, you mean, yeah, parties who have more than 1% will take electoral bonds. I heard that in court today. I actually didn't know that was the case, but I'll actually check that once before answering this question, Siddharth. Hello, Abhishek Edits. Hello. The 70-hour comment from Murthy was so wild. Yes, I ranted about it in the last stream, I remember. Bro, I work for an alcohol based company. Pramod. Potato chip, holy mother of God. I don't know what that reaction was for, but I hope it was for something that I just told you. Finance bills in general are very sketchy, is Ronak Singh. Ronak, you're actually correct, because this bill, the 2017 bill which was amended, it had amendments to the RBI Act, it had amendments to the FCRA Act. I think RBI Act cannot be changed, and it comes under the Home Ministry, and so does the FCRA Act. So the Finance Ministry was technically changing laws which were under a different ministry. So that is one. The second thing is, the reason why these things were put into the finance bill is because they can completely bypass Rajya Sabha. So finance bill is a money bill, and through a money bill, when the Lok Sabha passes a money bill, the Rajya Sabha can give some recommendations, but they can't really do anything about it. So essentially, Lok Sabha has a say, and during that time, and even now, they didn't have that much of a majority in Rajya Sabha. So Aadhaar was also passed as a a money bill. So were these string of finance bills which had like multiple amendments to different acts which come under different ministries as well. So you're right, it is kind of sketchy, and especially when stuff like this happens. How sketchy of a timeline is this? Just before UP elections, when Yogi won the first time, they did demonetization, and then before 2019 general elections, they did electoral bonds, and now before 24. Yeah, Ronak, actually, that timeline does make sense to me as well. I was also thinking about this a lot, right? In November 2016 is when demonetization happened. Next year is when the UP elections happened. This finance bill, etc., also happened during the same time. 2018 was when the electoral bonds actually became active. 2019 is when the general elections happened. So it's like a very convoluted circle. If you want to join the dots there, you can. Because demonetization, according to me, one of the reasons that was done was to remove black money and cash from the system, which also means a lot of political parties that were functioning on cash were massively affected. Like, they couldn't gather the cash, they didn't have any cash for the UP elections to spend. So yeah, fun times for other political parties, and they couldn't even say anything, right? Because if you admit that my cash is gone, then you're like, "Arey, but you were doing black money, huh?" So Modi ji ne sabak sikhaya. And then, electoral bonds also came in after that. Isn't allowing any foreign entity to donate any amount very worrying? Yes, Naranjit, good point. That is my second thing that I was going to. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, okay, here. Yeah. So, wait. So, this is an article in Scroll written by Rohan in 2017. In the name of transparency, BJP has made it easier for parties to get anonymous corporate funds, right? BJP is cracking down on the black cash in the electoral system, but opening the door to American style special interests. Here, there is this part which I wanted to show you. So remember in the last part, I told you the two changes that they made. One was, of course, they introduced the electoral bonds through the Finance Bill 2017. The second thing is they removed the corporate donation cap. What that means is this, right? The BJP has now gone a step further. One of the last minute amendments added to the Finance Bill 2017 included a change to the Companies Act that removes restrictions on how much money can be donated to political parties and deletes a requirement that companies tell the public who they donated money to. PRS explains, currently a company may contribute up to 7.5% of the average of its net profits in the last 3 financial years to political parties, right? So 3 years, they take an average of the profits, and out of that, 7.5% is the cap of how much you could donate to political parties. The company is required to disclose the amount of contributions made to political parties in its profit and loss account, along with the name of the political parties to which such a contribution is made. Okay, so those two things. Now, the amendments to the finance bill propose to remove the limit for contributions that a company may make to a political party. And the second, the requirement of a company to disclose the name of a political party to which the contribution has been made. So now, what happened is that because this cap is removed, a company can donate 100% of its profits or whatever is in its bank accounts, turn it into an electoral bond and give it to whatever party they want, right? What this ended up doing was essentially shell companies. Yeah. If you have seen my Adani saga, you would see like some similarities here and there, right? About how shell companies operate as well. Think about it. When a party is donating to when a company is donating to a political party, right? We are assuming that they are doing some legit business. Yeah, they're doing some legit business. They have a profit coming in. They're doing services or goods or trade or whatever they do, right? Legit business. The reason why this limit was put in was because it can't be that you just give your entire profit and whatever is in your bank to the political party, right? That doesn't make sense. That's the behavior of a shell company. Shell company which was created for the purpose of this, right? So they just removed the cap. Again, no idea why they did this, by the way. No reason was given why this happened. The FCRA thing, at least when they said that, oh, we have to give like CSR, there is difficulty, companies are facing difficulties giving CSR. At least there was some reasoning there. Here, I still haven't found a reasoning. One of the things I think we should all look out for is a reasoning for this part of it, which is, why did you remove the cap? What was the reason for this? It makes zero sense. Yeah? It makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, Narenjit, I hope that answers your question. Now खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा has become खाऊंगा और खिलवाऊंगा. Okay, bro, is this a glitch or you really have 58k likes on your live? 58k likes? I doubt it, boss. 58k थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही हो जाएगा. I'm not sure. It's a glitch probably. People always focus on Adani during the Modi regime but feel Anil Agrawal and Vedanta are like those kids who get away with things as they like. Ronak, you're right. There are so many other stories from before Adani also. I mean, of course, the Ambanis also have their own share of stories. Vedanta has one of, they have done their own things. Lots of stories there, of course. Right now, it is Sir Adani who is reigning over everyone. Reigning in the sense REIG, wo wala reigning, not like barish. People got a new face to hate on. Congress supporters and poor are blaming Adani on ground for increase in electricity, cement, and flight price. Raga made Adani a Khalnayak, which is starting a wave. Dharamteja, is it really though? I mean, sure, they claim that it started a wave. We'll see. Again, election results is what I will look for, and mainly the general elections. I mean, state elections might be different. State elections might actually favor the Congress and the India alliance, but general elections is where the real test is. I don't know what will happen there. And that is another reason why this case is super important, right? Think about it. If the Supreme Court actually scraps this whole nonsense, think about how an entire tool of political funding for these parties will be just immediately shut down. Especially the BJP, which got the major contributions from the electoral bonds till now. I'll show you. Alright, brother, I will watch it later. Have an extremely important exam tomorrow and I have to start studying. Enjoy the stream. Mannavan, oh, nice to have you here, Mannavan. Let's hope that our democracy survives till then. Electoral bonds are like my GF's ex. She doesn't want to share the information. Okay. BJP crying cause foreign donations to independent news channels but want it for themselves. Absolutely, I can certainly see the BJP actually being funded by some Chinese interests. Funny how they are the ones who raise the most voice, although superficially, over how China is destroying India. Udayan, that's the thing, right? Even in the court, this argument was made today that if you have allowed foreign funding to political parties, if you have removed the cap, who knows, and also made it anonymous through electoral bonds, all these three things, then who knows what money is coming into Indian politics anymore, right? China, Russia, Israel, Palestine, Hamas, I don't know. Who will tell us? Nobody will tell us, right? Also, if you have all these FCRA rules for media companies, for example, foreign companies cannot invest in media, even atomic energy, and a bunch of other areas where they are strictly prohibited from putting in FDI, foreign direct investment. Political parties ke liye it seems to be okay. Yeah. So it's bizarre for NGOs, etc. They are like, no, foreign funding. News click, foreign funding, foreign funding. Oh, what is happening here? George Soros, George Soros. Who knows? George Soros might be funding other parties also directly. Isn't it better to fund political parties who are in government rather than all these chutput news click type people, or me who am accused of for being funded by George Soros? मैं क्या ही कर लूँगा? What will they do? They do videos, man. What difference will that make? But a party in power, now that is something worth funding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Neeraj is saying if this limit is removed, then clearly offshore Adani companies will be donating 100% of income to BJP. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It is a possibility. Any company, any shell company can be opened up to donate 100% to BJP or Congress or whoever is there, right? 31 political parties have taken electoral bonds. Again, I'm not saying they have equally taken donations. Do not get me wrong. BJP has by far exceeded donations of any other party. Yeah. But there are other parties who have also taken donations. And most of those parties are parties in power. All of those parties, in fact, are parties in power, either in the center, which is BJP, or in the state, like TMC, BJD. They have also taken electoral bonds. But it's always those in power. Shiv Sena has also taken some electoral bonds, apparently. NCP is also there. But very minor amounts of electoral bonds. I love the Bhupinder reel, my favorite reel right now. Bhupinder? Okay. What do you think of PM Cares Fund? It looks shady. Not talking about PM Cares Fund right now because electoral bonds is what we are talking about. Uh, Manu, if electoral bonds are removed, then all political parties will be back to their old ways of funneling money into their party. Now, this is one more thing that was argued in court. I will show you. But okay, just last part of what I wanted to show you first. Okay, now the most bizarre thing happened after this. Okay, 2017 we have electoral bonds coming in, right? Right? Yeah, yeah. 2018 another thing happens with the finance bill. Yeah, this one. Can you see? अरे यार ये PIB का वेबसाइट है, सॉरी गाइज, वो अलाइनमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा. PIB, गॉड डैम PIB. You will have to little bit. Anyway, I'll just tell you. So, in 2018, what they did was, remember when I told you that in 2016 they changed the FCRA rules retrospectively to 2010? In 2018, they changed it to 1976. They said that any money given to political parties from 1976 onwards through this whole new foreign funding situation, 51% Indian majority and the rest subsidiary, from 1976 onwards will be legal. Why 1976? Because that is when the original FCRA Act came to be. They made a retrospective amendment spanning what, 45 years now? No, more. Calculate. So many years. So they said that from then on, political parties are allowed to donate. Foreign companies are allowed to donate to political parties. This, when I saw this, it blew my mind, boss. I was like, ये क्या time machine है? Like इंदिरा गांधी तक चले गए to legalize. What? What? Indira Gandhi. I can't. Anyway, that was just one bit that I wanted to show you, but I wanted to show you this mainly. Yeah, again alignment. Yeah. Okay. This is the scheme which was introduced, right? So, what is the electoral bond? I already told you in the beginning, but here are some more details that are very important because we'll be building that up into the hearings that come and it will give you more context about what is happening in general. Okay, so electoral bond, it says that electoral bond is a bearer instrument in the nature of a promissory note and an interest-free banking instrument. So a promissory note, like what an electoral bond is that you're buying it, so it is like a note. It is a store of value, right? So because it's a bearer thing, bearer bond, as they call it. Okay, I need to simplify it a little bit more, I feel like. Okay, so remember when I told you how the electoral bond doesn't have any name on it? Yeah? And how it's a currency? Yeah? Because person A can buy an electoral bond for whatever amount and give it to person B, then C, then D, and then D can give it to a political party, and then the political party can redeem it from the account. To their account. So essentially, the chain itself can be insane because it is a store of value. It is a currency. You can just transfer it from one person to the other person to the other person. You can literally use it like currency. Yeah. So for those periods when the electoral bonds is active, you can actually use it like a note, right? A citizen of India or a body incorporated in India will be eligible for the purchase of the bond. Yeah. There is a tricky little thing here. Body incorporated in India. This connects to the foreign funding thing that I told you, the FCRA thing. So essentially incorporated in India, but it doesn't really say if it should have like a majority capital in India or anything. It should just be incorporated in India. Okay. Electoral bonds would be issued, purchased for any value in multiple, any value. There is no cap for how many electoral bonds you can buy. For multiples of 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, and 1 crore. In the court, this was also pointed out that 95% of electoral bonds sold till now in the last 5 years were of the value of 10 lakh or 1 crore or more. I mean, 1 crore multiples, 10 lakh multiples. Which normal citizen is doing this? Are they buying this? I doubt it. That's what even Prashant Bhushan argued, that the fact that only high value bonds are being sold, the fact that only high value bonds are being purchased and given to political parties means that these are corporate donations, big corporate donations from specified branches of the State Bank of India, as I said, right? Okay, so the purchaser would be allowed to buy electoral bonds on due fulfillment of all extant KYC norms and by making payment of a bank account. So they have to do KYC, right? So when you're buying a bond, the usual account opening KYC where you give your ID and whatever. So to the state bank, right? So that process is happening, but the thing is that the state bank is adding a layer of anonymity, and the political party, so the state bank is adding a layer of anonymity where you don't know who is giving to who. But at the same time, what this also means is that the state bank knows who is buying the bond. They have all the KYC and everything, and as I will show you later, they can also connect the dots to who is getting it. It will not carry a name of the payee. Electoral bonds would have only a life of 15 days, during which it can be used for making donation only to the political parties registered under Section 29A of the Representation of People's Act, and which secured not less than, this is what the hard cap thing that I think Avinash was talking about, someone was talking about, which secured not less than 1% of the votes polled in the last general election to the House of the People or a legislative assembly. So it's not like any political party can take electoral bonds and redeem them. They should have fought an election and they should have gotten at least 1% of the vote to actually use this tool, which is also really unfair. If I form a new party tomorrow, I can't take electoral bonds. Apparently, that's the whole idea here. I need to fight an actual election, get 1% vote, and 1% vote can be huge in a lot of ways. So, yeah, that's a big restriction there. Bonds under this scheme shall be available for purchase of a period of 10 days each in the months of January, April, July, and October. Now, here's the thing. Electoral bonds cannot be bought and sold at any time. They will have windows opening in January, April, July, and October every year for 10 days so that you can buy those bonds. And after that, and it also says, as may be specified by the central government. So later what happened in the last few years, they ended up opening more windows anyway. It was very random. I'll show you later how that also worked out. An additional period of 30 days shall be specified by the central government in the year of the general election to the House of the People. So whenever there's a general election, an additional 30 days is just casually added, right? And the bond shall be encashed by an eligible political party only through a designated bank account with the authorized bank. So it can only be done in that one particular account where it is allowed to be encashed. That is how electoral bonds work. भूपेंद्र जोगी. Oh yeah, I saw that meme. भूपेंद्र जोगी. आपका नाम क्या है? भूपेंद्र जोगी. क्या अमेरिका में कहाँ कहाँ गए थे? काफ़ी जगह. नाम क्या नाम है जगह का? भूपेंद्र जोगी. I saw that also. Very funny, yes. Can we attribute the lack of accountability to the ignorant public of our country, which doesn't understand the power it holds through RTI and other instruments? Trisha, I would actually not blame the public at large, because people have different priorities than most people. As I said, I keep pointing this out. 80 crore people in this country still are dependent on ration. So for a lot of people, survival is a priority right now. So ignorance is something that will come after that. First survival, then education, healthcare, and then finally, when everything is done, they will care about, oh, what is the government doing? How does politics work? All those things, right? We'll get there hopefully someday as a country. People like us can basically talk about electoral bonds and RTI. That is another reason why I think the media is kind of being shitty right now, mainstream media, because one of the big jobs of mainstream media is to also inform the people about all of these things, which they aren't doing. Instead, they're just screaming and shouting at each other and panelists and whatever Hindu Muslim nonsense they're doing. That is one more big problem I would like to highlight. With given 5,000 crore, BJP is building so many offices in local areas. Mr. Sibbal raised argument of electoral bonds are not only for elections but are used as party fund. Khatra for democracy. Dharam Teja, yes, the next part is going to be about that, what happened in court today. Just a second, I will get there. Daily Undeli is late. Hello, welcome. London Top always brings gems. Yeah, I saw that. It was actually quite funny. This reminds me that my psychology teacher said humans are born with hypocrisy before hemoglobin. What is that line? Okay, Krish. The more law I study, the more I feel like अपने आप से कुछ ही बना दिया, as if intuition से law बनाया जा रहा है. Krish, I agree. Things like these, like that retrospective amendment I told you about, it blew me away. I have no law degree, but when I saw that happening, I was like, yeah, allowed hai kya? Like, can you make changes to laws by going back in time 50 years ago? Can you do that? Is that a thing? It doesn't make sense to me. It makes no logical sense. How? Why? It's bizarre. Arun Jaitley was the worst FM, Delhi University ka kalank. Do you think Supreme Court would give a sound judgment and not like the one they gave on gay marriage, where they directed the government to draft a law since they don't have any power to implement? Mandalorian. Oh, Mandalorian. Yes, hi. I don't know. Yeah, but either way, it would be interesting. Again, they might say, no, let it be. Electoral bonds is great. All is good, whatever. Which means practically elections are destroyed forever till any government comes to change it. But if the Supreme Court gives a stamp on this, then I believe for at least a few decades, no government will want to change it. Because the party in power is directly benefiting from this scheme. As I said earlier, most of the donations that are being given through electoral bonds are only to parties in power. So, which government will want to change it? No government will want to change it. Congress, if it comes to power, they'll be like, now we'll use it. BJP, if it comes to power, they'll be like, we'll use it. TMC, if it's in power in the state, they'll be like, we'll also use it. So basically, if the Supreme Court says yes to this whole thing, it would be an absolute freaking disaster, according to me. Elections will be broken forever. That's it. End of times. Yeah, I'm saying it. End of times. If not, the other thing that they can do is scrap this whole thing. But then how will they do it, right? If they scrap this whole thing, will they say that for the last 5 years, whatever donations have come to these political parties, you need to reveal those now? If that happens, that would be the funnest situation for me and this channel and all of us, because you know what we'll be doing. You know what we'll be doing. We'll be looking at all that data and trying to find connections between, ooh, who donated to who, and then, ooh, what happened after this, ooh, what benefits were given to this corporate who donated this electoral bond to this party. We will be doing all of that. So that would be fun times. Or the other thing that can happen is they'll just scrap it and they'll say, okay, whatever happened for 5 years, let it be. Sealed cover, sealed cover. But from now on, don't take electoral bonds. Okay, okay, now chill, chill, chill. I feel like that is a more likely route if it's a middle ground. But who knows? Supreme Court might go nuts. I feel like that shady 20,000 odd crores of Adani are all BJP money funneled out of the system through means like this. Again, Ronak, we can do all the theorizing that we want, right? But unless we have actual evidence of that happening, which they have actively prevented us from getting, we cannot say anything. We can just theorize. That's the whole thing. If I say something about Adani that, oh, maybe he took whatever, I will be sued. Yeah. If you file an RTI, you will get no response. They have actively made it so that asking for these things might also amount to defamation and a criminal offense. You never know, because I'll be making an accusation. The Adani people can just say that, oh, तेरे को क्या पता? Yeah, screw you. 100 crore ka defamation, criminal whatever case against you can happen. So theorizing is all we can do, because it's a messed up situation. Retrospective effective date, that too beyond 6 months, 1 year is bad in law in many countries. Even 6 months and 1 year is bizarre, Shweta. I mean, of course, 50 years is insane, but retrospective effect doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can a law be changed back in time? How can you do that? That's cheating, man. That's crazy. Yeah, changing 1976 law is like changing our past. Exactly, Manu. That's what I'm saying. Poonam Agrawal from Quint had done bomb stories in 2019 in multiple series of videos she got for Quint. She recently did an amazing documentary, Trap, for BBC. Chirag, funnily enough, that was what I was going to show you next. Remember when I was telling you that there is a secret number in the electoral bond, right? What the government claimed is that electoral bonds are completely anonymous. So the name of the person who is buying it is not mentioned. The party that is getting the money is also not mentioned, right? But you know who knows who is getting this? The State Bank of India. Okay, now here is the fun story that Poonam has done, as Chirag pointed out. Okay. Really need to read this. Secret policing, the Quint finds hidden numbers on electoral bonds. What she did essentially, she bought an electoral bond, she took it to a forensic lab and asked them, listen, can you put it under like some ultraviolet light and see what happens? And voila, there is a number, an invisible number on the electoral bonds. Look at this. So this is what an electoral bond looks like. Yeah, it's a promissory note. Date of issue 5th April. Yeah, valid up to 15 days, and she bought it for $1,000. Of course, she's not going to give a crore. I guess Poonam doesn't have that much money. Kiska naam nahi hai? No names, nothing, right? And then they put it through, UV light, and look, there are numbers. Yeah, what this means is that the State Bank of India can track who bought the electoral bond and which party got it. The moment you put a number like this on it, it is not anonymous anymore. So, in total, it is anonymous for you, it is anonymous for me, it is anonymous for everybody else. Who is it not anonymous for? Number one, the person who bought the bond and gave it to the party. Yeah, assuming it's the same person who bought it and gave it, the political party who got it, because of course they'll talk to each other, no, ki, oh, I gave you this much money, I gave you this much money, now you will do something in return for me. Yeah. The second party that knows is the SBI. And who owns the SBI? The government owns the SBI. So who else knows? The government knows. So the party in power actually can find out which donor gave money to which party. But the other parties have no such advantage, and neither do citizens. So it is like this one sided, lopsided information system which gives all the power to those who are in power, and it compounds it by magnitudes, right? Crazy times, guy. Crazy times, I tell you, crazy times. SBI knows all. SBI has to have all the KYC details. Yes, exactly. So KYC details can be connected to the number. Then the number can be seen which party has been redeeming this bond. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Adani gives money to Modi, Modi gives money to NDTV, which in return goes to Adani. What a blast Modi and Adani are having. Rushi, great theory. All of these are theories. Yes, Adani ji, all of these are theories, guys. No, this is not true. Rushi ने बोला, मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला. I damn, this looks so shady. Yeah. Yes. Why do you think I've been going nuts about this for years now? It is insane. It is nuts. It is actually shady as hell. Oh, I have lost my mind over this so many times. Guys, I'm so happy. All 185 people here are here to share my insanity today. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Arun Jaitley was one of the most cunning and smartest of the lot of NDA one, but yet he is not being remembered for good neither by us nor by his own party. Ronak. I have had my own run-ins with Sir Arun Jaitley, which I will never reveal in my life. You can even buy out the SBI clerk guy and he'll do the tracking for you. That's why specific SBI branches. Point, Neeraj. I mean, kuch bhi kar sakte ho, right? I mean, you can bribe like a clerk and get this information out. But the thing is that the government just gets it by default, no? Because the government can just ask and the SBI can be like, oh, we will just leave this piece of paper here which has the information. We don't know what happened to it. Who knows? Electoral bonds is a legalized Hawala system. Yes, I think, Manu, we are getting on the right track. I'm so glad you're getting there. Finally joined Discord and shared that black pill video. Okay. Daily and daily, really insistent. Like it. I will look at it. It feels so bizarre and weird that I feel like I'm experiencing this in a dream. WTF, Prajna. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're having that effect in your life. I've been having this effect for years now. I'm glad we are able to share this collective nightmare now. Unrelated, but don't you ever feel like cussing on stream? Also been following you since long time. Love what you do. RSE. I do. I'm actively controlling myself from cussing. Yeah. I'm training myself to not cuss. Even in public, actually. Also, I realize that cussing is also a sign of a lack of vocabulary sometimes, because I can't fill that portion with anything else. Word wise, I end up cussing. So I'm also like moderating that a little bit. Thank you so much for following my work, RSE. Yeah. Okay, friends. So the last part is, of course, about the hearing that happened. I'm going to take you through it now. But before that, Please do like the stream. Please do consider becoming a member. This is my bread and butter now. This is how I earn a living. And I hope you are finding this useful. All of the things that are happening and all of the things I'm telling you about. This week, I'm going to be live pretty much every night till the hearing is on, because there is a lot more detail that I will give you on electoral bonds. So, yeah. But thank you so much for being here. Please do consider becoming a member and supporting the stream and the channel. Bro, this electoral bond shit is so crazy, but yet 99% of Janta will never get it. How have they got away with legalizing shit like this? The reason is because nobody is talking about this. Nobody is talking about this. Like the way I'm explaining it, you realize how difficult it is to do. The whole reason why I can talk about it is because I've been following it since the beginning. It's so complicated, right? And nobody wants to put in the effort to educate the public. Unfortunately, that's where we are. Can we predict the verdict based on the SC bench members? The result of gay marriage verdict was predictable based on it. I don't know, Jeevanesh. I do not make such predictions. Okay, so the last part is the one that I wanted to. Yeah, okay. Let's go there. Yeah. So, arguments were made. The hearing started around like 10, ended around like 4:30. I watched the whole thing, and then I was like, I need to have like a gist of what all happened. So there is a thread on Twitter that I did. I'm just going to quickly take you through the arguments. Guys, if you're just joining this stream, please say hi. Please say hi. Because I will just tell you to go back in time, like not legally, but I will tell you to go back in time and just check the beginning bits of this stream, because there's a lot of context you need to understand what I'm about to tell you. So yeah. Okay, so Prashant Bhushan made this argument, the first argument that was made. The ruling party has received more than 5,000 crore in donations through electoral bonds. Electoral bonds has been active for 5 years now, right? So BJP by far has exceeded most parties, all parties, donation wise, right? So BJP has already gotten 5,000 crore plus in donations through electoral bonds. The permissible limit of spending on elections in Lok Sabha is about 1 crore per candidate, right? So legally, it is mandated that every candidate who is standing for elections will limit their spending to 1 crore. Okay, so it's not technically 1 crore. Kapil Sibal also clarified that it can be 70 lakh to 95 lakh depending on the state that they are fighting the election from. But for this argument purpose, they are assuming 1 crore. The thing is, the political party has no such limit. The political party has no spending limits. The candidate does. Okay, so to build this argument, what he says, if BJP fields candidates in all constituencies, it will be max 545 crore that can be spent overall on Lok Sabha elections, right? 545 seats, 1 crore per seat. So in Lok Sabha elections, every 5 years, they will have to spend 545 crore because 1 crore limit, right? That's what we are assuming. But BJP has already received 10x of that. 10 times more than the amount required for Lok Sabha elections of the permissible spending limit through electoral bonds in these 5 years. How is this allowed? Of course, there is an argument that can be made about, of course, they're fighting assembly elections also, right? But I still feel if you calculate even those, this amount is nuts. 5,000 crore to a political party is kind of nuts. I believe the election commission had given a figure to conduct elections, I think general elections or something. So when they were doing the simultaneous election exercise, remember, the election commission had said they would end up saving some 1,600 crore if elections are done simultaneously. So what I'm trying to say is that maybe the entire country's election budget during the general elections doesn't cost this much. Just saying. Okay. The second argument that was made was the government claimed during demonetization they want to reduce the use of cash and turn India into a cashless society. I hope you remember that. They were like, oh, cashless society, and then Paytm karo, digital India, all the things. But that doesn't seem to apply to political parties. Parties and candidates standing for election spend more than the permissible amount, but in cash or via proxies. See, that's what I mean. So, like, if a candidate is standing for elections, there is this permissible limit, which means that the election commission also has to track it. Every candidate has to give a daily expense report to the election commission, and they track it and see how much they have spent it. But the only reason why a candidate is able to do that is because they are not spending cash. If they spend it in cash, they don't need to give any report or whatever. Even the party, if it's spending in cash, they don't need to give any report or whatever. Or if you're doing it via proxy, again, no need to tell election commission anything. The election commission has admitted that it can't catch such candidates because they spend in cash. EC has said this. If you want to reduce cash in politics and elections, just make a simple amendment saying cash spending by candidates during elections amounts to corruption. See, simple. If you actually had the intention of removing black money from the election process, you would do this, which is any sort of cash spending done by candidates or political parties during elections amounts to corruption and you can be acted upon. Did they do that? No. Instead of doing that, they have brought in the electoral bonds to donate to parties anonymously. This was the second argument that was made by Prashant Bhushan in the Supreme Court. Okay, it's chat time before I go to the other arguments because lots of chat to go through. I care about you guys. I care about you. If swearing is wrong, why does swearing feel so right? Checkmate. Thank you, Dhiru bhai. Yes, of course, it feels great because you're expelling an emotion, I guess. I don't know. Corporations can give crores of money to any party with even without telling anything. But if we want to donate a little bit, we have to disclose our entire income history. See, that's the thing, Abhilash. Transparency is applicable to us, the citizens. We have to give them our Aadhaar number. We have to give them our passport details wherever they ask for it. कल पुलिस आ जाएगा मेरे घर पे and they will be like phone दो and I can't even say anything. They'll take my desktop away and look through everything I have and I can't do shit about it. It's true. And then when it comes to political parties and corporations who are donating to them, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They don't need to disclose anything. They can be completely anonymous about what they are doing. See, that's what I mean, right? You know, it's such a garbage situation. I know why a lot of you have been thinking and also commenting about why aren't people more angry about this, right? Again, I don't think anybody is telling them. And nobody is really articulating it in ways like this, which I'm telling you, right? I feel like more and more people need to articulate these things about how this is a systemic problem, which is a very dangerous problem and it affects everyone. Can we predict the verdict based on... I've already looked at that. I hope Supreme Court won't be like Modi with Pragya Thakur, kabhi maaf nahi karunga, but kuch karunga bhi nahi. Again, Nairanjit, I don't know. I already told you what are the different options, the ways that Supreme Court can take. Daily and daily, hi. Okay, so there are a bunch of new people. As I said, go back in time because context. We should give our Aadhaar number so that they can leak it on our behalf. Do you pay for verified tick mark on Twitter or you still get it genuinely? No, Manu, I pay for it. I pay for the Twitter Blue now. And I also get paid in return. I have already recovered all of my blue tick payment to Twitter and I have earned the profit now. So I'm happy. I'm technically Twitter is paying me now for this blue tick. My MLA election expenses show only 1 lakh plus. Pallavi, what? Oh, that happens. Yes, of course. Like 1 lakh plus some whatever check or bank or whatever they must have given, that might have shown up in their election expense report. Don't be unfair, guys. Party break करने के लिए भी cost लगता है. Neeraj, yes, 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 yes. I'm saying yes, yes, yes because the next argument is very interesting and it was very fascinating when it happened. Okay. Okay. Argument number 3. This is where Kapil Sibal started arguing in court. There is nothing in the electoral bond scheme which says that the donation money is to be used for election purposes. Political parties can spend their money any way they like. Example, party can use it to build swanky headquarters, give advertisements to media houses in order to push their ideology, can be used to buy land, it can be used for anything. What can be anything? I don't know, Neeraj said it. I don't say these things. What can it be used for? What can the money be used for, huh? You can decide. The money coming through electoral bond is not tied to or restricted to only election expenses. See, this is what I mean. So when the scheme was actually introduced, there is no real criteria about when you get the donation, how are you supposed to spend it. So the party can just keep it. They can earn interest on it. They can use it to build headquarters. They can use it to buy a media house if they want to. Yeah, they can use it to buy, I don't know, other things like human beings. I don't know. I don't know how that happens, right? Nobody knows how that happens. So that's a very good argument that Kapil Sibal made, because think about it this way. If this scheme needs to exist and it is restricted to only election expenses, what Prashant Bhushan said, like 1 crore per candidate, you can basically spend it on the candidate or whatever it is, and only for election purposes during a period of time, maybe like 2 months before the elections, the period starts and ends right when the election is happening. During that time, you can spend the election money, like the electoral bond money, but only for that purpose, and it has to be tracked throughout. If that be the case, I feel like I would still, be like, okay, fine. But in this case, they literally get a blank check. They can spend it on anything they want. Yeah. And which is the second argument that is connected to this, right? The nature of electoral bond scheme protects those who have committed a crime. Okay, hold on to your seats. For instance, a company can donate to a political party without asking for favors. But then if they commit crimes, the party they have donated to will not act against them. Think about it, right? So someone, like a few people were arguing with me and saying that, how are you assuming that when a company gives electoral bonds to parties, they're getting something in return? Stupid argument, because why would a company give a part of their profits to a political party if they're not getting anything in return? Assuming it's a company which is answerable to shareholders will be like, what the hell, man? Why the hell are you doing this? Like, this is also our money. Why are you giving away a chunk of our profit to a random political party for no reason? Yeah. Second, if a company is giving money to political party, right? Abhi de diya, maybe they didn't ask for anything in return, but then let's say they default on a loan later, right? How likely is that party to act against them? Very not likely, right? Or, maybe like they do some fraud, or maybe they do money laundering, or maybe they open shell companies in fun beachy locations like Mauritius or whatever. And then they are like, ooh, but I gave you donations, now don't do anything. keep your ED and CBI away from me. I gave you donations. Remember, I gave you donations. And the party will be like, yeah, I need donations next year also, guys. So like, let's not do anything to them. That's the argument. It protects those who commit crime. So if you have donated to a political party, if you have given electoral bonds to a political party, you sort of get like a get out of jail free card, basically. This is like protection money given by criminals so that they cannot be caught. Good logic, good logic. Okay. The government claimed that the electoral bond scheme will bring white money into politics since it can only be bought by check DD transfer. We saw that, right? We saw that earlier where electoral bonds can only be purchased through check, DD or transfer. But it actually does the opposite. EBs anonymize previous methods of white money donations to political party and turns it into anonymous funding. There's a lot of data which shows that donations that were earlier being made through check DD transfer are now anonymous through electoral bonds. This is a little complicated to explain, but I'm going to try to do it. So as I said, before electoral bonds, people could donate in certain ways, right? Which is cash. They could give cash. 20,000 and less, you don't need to, the party doesn't need to declare their names. They reduce the cash to 2,000. That doesn't matter, right? 20,000 limit was reduced to 2,000. The second way to do it is through electoral trusts, as I said, which are like semi-opaque but traceable bodies. The third is through bank things, check DD transfer, right? There were a few corporations and parties who were, there were a few companies and individuals who were giving through check DD transfer. Even if they gave it through an electoral trust, it was being done through banking channels. So it could be tracked, right? What happened is that ever since electoral bonds was introduced, whatever little white money that was actually being shown by the election commission as donations being given to parties, that drastically flipped. And now even that white money which we were seeing earlier being given and like being traceable to other parties, that has vanished. Now even the white money that was being used in politics has been anonymized through electoral bonds. So cash is still a thing, 2,000 rupees. Cash, black money, whatever is still anonymous. Now even white money is anonymous, right? It blows your mind. So they've basically turned white money into somewhat of a black money, the anonymity factor of black money. So black money funding still exists, which is anonymous. Now even white money is anonymous. It's like, hey. Okay, this is the last one. Before that, this argument was made by Shadan Farasat in Supreme Court. He's a CPIM lawyer. Shadan Farasat said that CPIM is the only party who has taken a principled stand not to take electoral bonds. Okay, last one. Electoral bonds cannot be purchased using cash. Only check DD transfer can be used. Since this scheme claims to bring in white money into politics, how can it exclude cash for buying bonds? Yeah? Think about it. Black money, cash, right? Oh, shady money, cash money is the usual thing that is in our head, which is black money is essentially money that you have earned which you don't want to pay taxes on, so you're just hiding it. You're anonymizing it. So the thing is, you can only buy electoral bonds through check, DD and transfer. Right, but the whole argument being given by the government is that electoral bonds is supposed to bring in white money into the political system. So, doesn't it make sense to allow cash to use cash as a mechanism to buy electoral bonds? Because then once you give it to the party, it becomes white, because bringing cash back into the banking system technically turns it white. But electoral bond scheme explicitly prohibits that from happening. So how is this a thing? This argument was made by Nizam Pasha. So 4 lawyers made arguments today. So I've just compiled it a little bit. There were a lot more arguments made, of course. You can go back and look at the whole live stream if you want. But yeah, these are the most interesting ones that I found, which I think you need to know. Okay, friends, that concludes our episode. That concludes our whole live stream essentially on electoral bonds. To the people who are watching this in the video form, which I will cut out and put out by tomorrow, please do consider coming for the live stream. I will probably be doing a live stream throughout this week while the hearing is going on. And I will keep telling you more about electoral bonds like I just did. Today was just the origin story. Next, I will also tell you and give you some data about what has happened in the last 5 years when it came to electoral bonds. How much was bought, what windows opened up, how random nonsense kept happening, how windows were changed, how much was it before general elections, how much is it now, what happened. There's a lot to talk about there as well. So yeah, so that will I'll do eventually tomorrow, day after, whenever the live streams are happening. Also, the government is going to argue maybe tomorrow or day after. The government side is going to argue, so that would be an interesting thing to break down as well. So yeah, please do consider coming for the live streams, and if not, you'll always get this video. Okay, I think that is a good. Meghnad casually promoting his Twitter, yeah. Raga today speaking about Adani said that there are structural flaws in the system which need to be changed, but hasn't said anything about these bonds. Makes you wonder if they'll do the same in power. Jobin, that's my thing, right? You know, if the Congress comes to power, all this electoral bonds money goes in their direction. People say, I mean, there is some truth to this also, that money is power. Yeah. In elections, if you are a party who is rich, you will be able to fight the elections better. That's obvious. That's an obvious statement. But I would also like to argue that if you are in power, you will attract more money. Yeah. Once you come to power, you will have all these people who will start throwing money at the winning horse. Right? So it works both ways. It's a quid pro quo situation, of course, but also if you win, you attract more money. It's that simple. There's a whole reason why all these political parties that are in power in states or center are getting all these electoral bonds and none of the opposition parties, because opposition parties can do jack. They can give jack, right? Nobody is going to bet on an opposition party and just assume that they will win, right? That is a calculated risk that a company might not want to take. So whoever is in power, it makes sense to donate to them. So then if the Congress is in power, money goes towards them. No brainer. So this whole thing, electoral bonds, benefits whoever is in power. Doesn't matter which party it is. Many people go blind behind the emotion of their favorite party, and these people don't feel that the political parties can exploit the citizen, including them. Exactly, Daily and Daily, right? It doesn't matter, it's BJP, Congress. Right now, it's the BJP. BJP is the one that introduced electoral bonds, right? So clearly, I'm going to blame them. They are the ones who brought this in. They are the ones who are benefiting the most. But who knows if the Supreme Court actually allows this and it exists and continues to exist, BJP is not going to be in power forever. Next, whoever comes, Aam Aadmi Party, TMC, Congress, whoever, they will take benefit of this scheme. Does the media houses have an investment in BJP party, or is it the party that has investment in the party? SY. Like, goal. It's circular, I guess. When white money is turned into kind of black money, then the real black money will get completely green signal to enter the system as white money. See, I love it. You guys are going into like this whole circular mess now, which is brilliant. Same time every day? Yes, Shavik. Same time every day, 8 o'clock is what I'm planning to do. The anonymity argument doesn't hold, right? We just saw there is a secret bond number. Wasn't that raised in the arguments today? Yes, Narenjit, that was also raised in the court today. And that secret number thing was also raised by Prashant Bhushan. Yes, that argument was made. Michael Kolako, don't trust anyone blindly when it comes to politics of narratives. That's true. That's true. A big thank you from the bottom of my small heart for keeping me believe in hope in my country to hope that things will change. That's really sweet of you, Michelle. Michelle, right? I'm sorry. Is it Michael? Michelle. Sorry. Michelle, I'm glad you like this. I'm glad you find this useful. I am desperately trying to be hopeful as well. I do believe in being hopeful. I think our country is far too resistant for this evil to last. Things happen, things are shitty, but I hope there are people like me who are calling it out. There are others who are also doing this. They're also working on stories, like our friend Poonam that I just show you, Vijayta, whose Hindu report I was referring to, Rohan, who was in Scroll, whose report I was referring to. All these people have also added little bits and pieces to the electoral bond story. And tomorrow, I'm going to take you through a whole host of other stories by Reporters Collective. Nitin Sethi did like this giant series on electoral bonds. I'm going to tell you about RBI objections. I'm going to tell you about how the Election Commission objected to it. Literally, Election Commission and the Reserve Bank of India have both said, no, please don't do this, guys. This is a bad idea. Please don't do this. And they haven't listened to them. So that will happen tomorrow. And then the data part will also happen. So lots of people have worked on this. Lots of data has come out. I would like to really thank these people for doing this. I am a messenger. I am just telling you all these things and connecting it all together so that it makes sense. So please, if you want to support these people also, please go say that good job, guys. Good job. Good job. But then anyone can claim they donated and try to get favors without actually donating. No, John, that's the thing, right? As I will tell you later also, the State Bank of India actually put in that number because they wanted to make it traceable so that there is no forgery. So if there is no name on it, anybody can forge it, right? But the State Bank of India, when it actually does the redeeming of the money, they need to have like some level of authenticity on it. So they wanted the number for to make it authentic. And then it ended up being non-anonymous and trackable as a result. So it's a very weird thing. And I'll tell you how that happened also, because there's a giant story behind that as well. पल्लवी इज आस्किंग, क्या सच में यहूदी यदुवंशी है? Oh God. Pallavi, I think this is a good time to end the stream. There was on a good note. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. And this was 1 hour 30 minutes long. I want to keep it short because I will go to editing now. Again, insane work will happen now after this because I have to edit probably late into the night so that I can put it up tomorrow morning, the video that I just did, and then tomorrow live stream. So that's the cycle now. So yeah, need to prepare for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you like this. Please do share this stream with people. Once the video is out, I'm going to maybe turn it into... No, this one I'll keep it outside the paywall. I feel like public interest matters. But please, if you're watching this later as well, do consider becoming a member. Do consider supporting me. And thank you very much for watching. I hope this enlightened you a little bit. And I hope this confused you also a little bit about how the hell did this whole thing happen? How? Why? Why is this happening in my life? In everybody's life? I feel you. I feel you. Bye-bye.